powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu.
Somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems.
चुन चुन करके हिसाब लेना ये मेरी फितरत है.
Why should it be a problem if I'm smart enough to have multiple options? You should be admiring me.
भारत झुकने वाला भी नहीं.
The rise of India will be determined by India. It will be determined by our strength, not by the mistakes of others.
The old order is not coming back. We shouldn't mourn it. Nostalgia is not a strategy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Please do like and subscribe. Let's get going. Let's get started. Something major coming up in the BRICS. So what's happening is that Chinese President Xi Jinping is likely to attend September 12th to September 13th BRICS Summit in New Delhi with a very large delegation. And according to the sources, if you believe, then this shows a lot of really huge development. Why? Because in 2009 when Xi Jinping actually visited, then he had less than 200 delegates, but this time he's visiting with 400 plus delegates. Now 400 plus delegates says a lot about the relationship. What exactly is going on here? Let's get going. Let's talk about it. It's not just about President Xi Jinping visiting India, because I had said this thing before. Okay, I had said this thing right after Kazan Summit when I was tracking BRICS Kazan Summit. Then Chinese and Indians, they had this talk and this communication. They said that, okay, China had made this commitment that China will support India's India's BRICS Summit. And India made the commitment that India is going to support China's BRICS Summit next year when China will host. So you have to understand the game here, okay? And they both had made this commitment before the BRICS Summit in 2024. What does that mean? It means that they already knew what will be the agenda, what are the discussions, what exactly is going on. They knew all these things. Otherwise, don't just go and jump ahead and make these type of commitments. Okay, so I was sort of kind of hoping that President Xi Jinping will actually visit BRICS Summit in India. Okay, now the question really is that why is that? Why 400 delegations? He can just come to India, he can visit India with a 200 delegation too. Why 400 delegation? What is the game here? Okay, so to understand the game, first of all, actually, let me talk about certain things real quick. Okay, when I will show you certain things, you will understand the game, and I'm gonna actually explain you a whole lot of things in there. Okay, so stay with me till the end. It's not gonna be a very long video as usual. Okay, so please do stay with me. Please do like and subscribe, and let's talk about it. So what's going on is, number one thing is this. Let me share it. Okay, look at this. President Trump is set to impose 7.5% tariff on Chinese goods, raising the total tariff on chain to 20% per Bloomberg. Okay, President Trump is reportedly imposing these tariffs over allegations of excess manufacturing capacity before a planned summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping on September 24th. And these tariffs will come on top of others imposed during Trump's first term and extended by President Joe Biden. This is just the trailer of the picture. Okay, that there is a major economic war that is going on and that's coming, and China is anticipating all these things. Okay, so this is why Chinese want to discuss things with India, because there are very few countries in the world. Okay, there are very few countries in the world that have the intake capacity like India. Same way, when India looks for exporting its goods, then India also looks for those countries, countries like China or say United States, like that, or Russia too. But Russians are pretty much self-reliant, so export becomes a little bit, it's not that much. But this is the one of the things. Okay, this is one game. Now, second game that is going on between that's going on between India, China, US, Russia, all over. I made a video on it. I made the video on G2 exposed. Okay, what exactly has been G2 when President Trump says G2, G2, and G2? It's the AI game. It's the AI game. What do I mean by AI game? See, AI game is that President Trump, when President Xi Jinping is going to visit United States on September 24th, then there will be a discussion on AI. And the way I am understanding it is that President Trump will try to propose President Xi Jinping that, hey, you keep what you keep in AI market, and we keep what we have or what we keep. So anybody who actually starts to use our model, our providers and all, will make sure that they don't use yours and you do the same. Okay. Now, it's not as simple as it seems, because President Trump always makes things look very simple. The way he talks, the way he, elaborates and exaggerates things. But that's not the case here. Now, some of you like, okay. See, this is what is called G2. And the problem with the US is that, or US AI ecosystem, I would rather say, is that they have dumped too much money into it. So what they're saying is that we have certain markets captured and we don't have to give away those markets. And if you notice, I don't know how many of you have tracked this thing, but President China, not just President Xi Jinping, but China overall, China has been putting its foot AI into Africa. Okay, China has been offering its AI models in Africa as well. Now, some of you like, oh, Africa, okay, Africa. See, the impression of Africa to the world is that Africa is full of third world countries. What Africa is going to do, this, that. But I can tell you this, that when it comes to the supply chain, the logistics, and uh, the economic system, actually African economic system, logistics and supply chains are way more robust than the last of countries, actually. And there is a reason for it. Reason is that African countries barely have dollar, because exports are not there much. They just get robbed. Poor folks, they get robbed. And so only thing they rely on is their own local currencies. What does that mean? It means that they have pan-African currency market. And this is the kind of system that requires AI. Okay, which means that their IT can become much more efficient. But still, African continent is not India. So the way I'm looking at it is that there are two needs that India needs to fulfill. One is the semiconductor. Second is the AI for China. And Chinese President Xi Jinping has been trying to, integrate this whole AI ecosystem into the BRICS. Okay, I made this video about BRICS AI almost like 2 or 3 years ago, where I said that sooner or later there will be BRICS's own integrated AI ecosystem. And I think that that's what it will come down to. So before President Xi Jinping goes to visit, he visits United States on September 23rd or September 24th. I think that he wants to he wants to get a feel of India's nerves, or India's. He wants to get he wants to understand. He wants to test the waters here with India as to what is India's interest in this thing. Now, India also needs rare earths and semiconductors, right? So India is building that ecosystem, and India needs that. Now, few just couple of weeks ago, US actually released this statement that countries will only get to have either American AI ecosystem, or they will get access to the Chinese AI system. That's it. Chinese AI ecosystem, one or the other. And India is part of Pak Silica. So the question really is that how India is going to maintain its strategic autonomy in this situation. This is where things get complicated. Okay. Now, knowing India and India's politics and India's game, I think that India once again will veto this whole entire drama that, hey, you went ahead and you created this whole narrative that India should just go either work with America or China. Who gave you the right to decide that for us? That's what India's argument will be. So if India wants to have Chinese APIs, Chinese AI ecosystem access to that, then yeah, India will go and have that thing by all means. And that's exactly where the problems will start. Now, some of you will be like, okay, so problem will start, then what? What kind of problems we are talking about? See, US may actually try to block India's semiconductor access and may try to block some certain models, not all of it, because they cannot do the whole lot thing, because India is the market. And if US decides to remove India from its AI ecosystem, then it's not India's loss. See, for India, it's just a matter of 5 or 10 years. By that time, India will build its small modular reactors. It will set up its own array of nuclear reactors and its own hyperscalers and all that. India will have all that in next 5 to 10 years. Okay, and US knows it. So US doesn't want to get out of hand and try to uh, completely impose, but they will try. Make no mistake, they're gonna try. Now, how they're going to try, how they will try to put pressure on India, just like Palgam happened uh, during the trade negotiations. When it comes to AI, chances are this may happen too. Okay, so you have to be prepared, and this is why Pakistanis are actually probably loading up on it. Either they're loading up for all this, or they're loading up to take the Chinese hardware and supply it to Iran. That's another thing, but that's a different discussion. Okay, now coming back to our thing. So that's another aspect of it. Okay, then comes your financial infrastructure. That, as you know, the Chinese, the India's Reserve Bank also said that India is going to discuss linking the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, within the BRICS network. So when you bring 400 delegates, then you can actually, at least if they agree to things, and China is very big on EU on too. Chinese want the digital currency all over the place. That's the whole idea. Okay, so when they talk about linking, then all these 400 delegates and delegates from other BRICS countries can discuss all this to start with, as a I would say, as a prototype or proof of concept. And uh, that is another aspect to it. Okay, the linking the central bank digital currencies. And the third point, I think, that's going to be discussed, as I said, tariffs. I think the third point will be the discussion of Russian oil purchase tariffs that is being passed by the US Congress. Okay, and Sergio Gore have been trying to defend it by saying that, that is Ambassador Sergio Gore, that, oh, President Trump has not said anything. President Trump has not said anything, but President Trump didn't say anything against it either. And as far as I recall, I think President Trump has said it many times, and he has said it many times, more than many times, that now everyone is quiet on it. In fact, Peter Navarro also came out of his hiding. So, and before he opens his mouth, he said that, hey, please don't flame me. But anyways, so I think these are some of the points. Okay. And there are certain things they may discuss, other things that, I mean, I'm not going to speculate anymore, but other things could be the pipeline projects too. Okay, pipeline projects, and point of discussion could be Pakistan too. So let's see how that plays out. Only time will tell. But the way I'm looking at it, it's mainly AI, semiconductor. China will push for its own uh, AI ecosystem on India, that hey, take our AI ecosystem and use it. And India definitely wants that, because India definitely wants alternative to American AI ecosystem. And India has seen these things one too many times, that keeping one thing is always a problem. Okay. So let's see how this plays out. But whatever it is, the Asian politics is about to change for good. This is it for this video, guys. Please do like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Take care.